The newsroom buzzed with energy, but Lily Harper sat frozen at her desk. The investigative journalist stared at the faded photograph in her hands. It was of her parents. 10 years had passed since their tragic car accident, yet something had always felt off. Her thoughts were interrupted by her colleague, Ben, a sharp-eyed reporter who had worked alongside her for years. "You okay, Lily? You've been staring at that photo all morning." Lily hesitated. "I found something." She slid a folder across the desk. Inside were documents she'd uncovered while researching an unrelated story. One name stood out repeatedly: Ivory Link, a global import-export company allegedly involved in illegal activities. "What's Ivory Link got to do with your parents?" Ben asked, scanning the papers. "They were investigating them," Lily replied quietly. "My dad was a wildlife biologist, and my mum worked with conservation groups. Before their accident, they told me they'd uncovered something dangerous. I think it was this cartel." Ben frowned. "You think their deaths weren't an accident?" "I don't think. I know," she said, her voice trembling. "I checked old police reports. Witness statements are missing. The car's black box was never recovered, and the investigation was closed unusually fast." Ben leaned back in his chair, concern etched on his face. "This is heavy, Lily. If you go after them, you'll be putting a target on your back." "I've taken risks before," she said, her determination growing. "If they killed my parents to keep their operation running, I need to expose them. People need to know the truth." That night, Lily couldn't sleep. Her parents had devoted their lives to protecting endangered species, and now it seemed their efforts had cost them their lives. Flipping through her father's old journal, she found a note scribbled in the margin: "Follow the trade routes. The truth lies in the shipments." The next day, Lily began digging into Ivory Link's operations. Using her media credentials, she accessed shipping records, customs reports, and financial statements. Patterns emerged: routes from Africa to Asia, with forged documents covering up the transportation of illegal ivory. Her first break came when she contacted a former Ivory Link employee, a whistleblower named Kamau. He agreed to meet her in a secluded cafe on the city's outskirts. "They killed your parents," Kamau confirmed, his voice barely above a whisper. "They were getting too close to exposing the smuggling network. Ivory Link is just a front. The real players are hidden, powerful, and ruthless." Lily's stomach churned, but she kept her composure. "Will you help me expose them?" Kamau hesitated. "They'll come after you, after me too." "I need to do this," she insisted, "for my parents, for the truth." Kamau sighed. "All right, I'll give you what I know. But be careful, Lily. These people stop at nothing." As Lily walked back to her car, her resolve hardened. Ivory Link had stolen her parents, but she would turn their lies into her weapon. The fight for justice had just begun. Lily's plan was ambitious, and she knew it. To expose Ivory Link, she needed more than just old records and Kamau's testimony. She needed to infiltrate the cartel itself. Over the next few days, she combed through job postings, looking for any connection to the company. Her persistence paid off when she found a listing for a public relations role at one of their subsidiary offices in Nairobi. It was the perfect cover. Ben was skeptical when she told him her plan. "You're seriously going undercover? Do you even know what you're walking into?" "I don't have a choice," Lily said. "This is the only way to get close enough to gather real evidence." Ben sighed. "At least promise me you'll check in regularly. If anything feels off, you get out, okay?" Lily nodded, appreciating his concern, but knowing there was no turning back. A week later, she was seated in a sleek office in Nairobi, face-to-face with Ivory Link's head of public relations, Amanda Cross. Amanda was polished, professional, and disarmingly charming. "Your resume is impressive," Amanda said, scanning Lily's credentials. "Why are you interested in working with us?" "I've always admired Ivory Link's commitment to global trade and development," Lily replied, forcing a smile. "I want to help tell that story to the world." Amanda's piercing gaze lingered for a moment before she smiled. "You'll fit in well here. Welcome to the team." As Lily settled into her role, she quickly realized how tightly controlled the company's operations were. Most employees had no idea about the illegal activities taking place behind the scenes. Her tasks included drafting press releases and managing the company's social media accounts. harmless on the surface, but providing her access to internal documents and communications. Using a hidden camera and encrypted files on her laptop, Lily began collecting evidence. Late at night, she pored over shipping manifests, expense reports, and emails. One particular email chain caught her attention: coded messages between Ivory Link executives discussing a special shipment arriving in Hong Kong. She forwarded the email to Kamau, who decoded it for her. "It's Ivory," he confirmed. "High-value stock from poachers in East Africa. They're using forged permits to move it through customs." Lily's heart raced. This was the proof she needed, but she needed more, something undeniable that would link the cartel's leaders directly to the smuggling operation. Her opportunity came during a company gala, where Ivory Link's top executives gathered to celebrate their successes. Amanda had insisted that Lily attend, and she used the event to her advantage. While others mingled, Lily slipped away to the executive offices upstairs. Using a keycard she had lifted from Amanda's desk earlier, she accessed the CEO's private computer. What she found shocked her. Detailed records of bribes, fake permits, and shipments disguised as humanitarian aid. As she downloaded the files, a noise in the hallway made her freeze. Footsteps. Someone was coming. Her heart pounded as she quickly hid the USB drive and closed the laptop. The fight against Ivory Link had just turned deadly. Lily's heart pounded in her chest as the footsteps grew closer. She held her breath, clutching the desk for support, praying she wouldn't be caught. The door handle jiggled, but the person outside moved on, their steps fading down the hallway. Lily exhaled in relief, but knew her time in the office was up. She tucked the USB drive into her pocket and slipped out, careful to avoid drawing attention. Back at her apartment, Lily plugged the drive into her laptop. The files were staggering in their detail: shipping routes, coded transactions, and even a list of government officials on the cartel's payroll. She immediately forwarded the files to Kamau. His response came within minutes. "This is explosive, but it's dangerous. Be careful." Lily knew he was right. The deeper she dug, the more perilous her mission became. But she couldn't stop now. She began planning her next move, using her position in the PR department to plant seeds of doubt in Ivory Link's public image. Over the next few weeks, she crafted subtle yet damaging press releases. She highlighted Ivory Link's vague financial practices and hinted at environmental concerns linked to their operations. The public began asking questions, and social media lit up with speculation. "Lily, you've been doing great work," Amanda said one day, though her tone was sharp. "But you need to stay focused. Some of the messaging recently has strayed from our core values." Lily nodded, feigning innocence. "Of course, I'll make sure to stick to the company's vision." Behind the scenes, Lily worked tirelessly to gather more evidence. She contacted journalists she trusted, leaking small pieces of information to build public interest. One of her stories about suspicious shipping containers linked to Ivory Link went viral, drawing international attention. But Lily's actions hadn't gone unnoticed. One evening, as she returned to her apartment, she found her door slightly ajar. She froze, her pulse quickening. Inside, the place had been ransacked. Papers were scattered, drawers overturned, and her laptop was gone. Panicked, Lily called Ben. "They know," she whispered, her voice trembling. "They were here." "Get out of there," Ben urged. "Now, you're not safe." Lily grabbed the USB drive, her only remaining evidence, and stuffed it into her bag. Her mind racing. She knew Ivory Link wouldn't stop until they silenced her. With nowhere else to turn, she contacted Kamau. They met in a secluded cafe where she handed over the USB drive. "Keep this safe," she said. "It's everything I've got." Kamau nodded. "What's the plan now?" "I need to confront them," Lily said, her voice steady despite her fear. "If they think I'm backing down, they'll win. But I'm not done yet." Lily was about to take the fight directly to Ivory Link, risking everything to expose their crimes. Her heart pounded in anticipation of what she was about to do. She had spent weeks meticulously gathering evidence and planting subtle narratives to tarnish Ivory Link's image. Now it was time to confront the cartel from the inside, putting her life on the line to bring them down. Back at the Ivory Link headquarters, the atmosphere was tense. The public speculation stirred by Lily's planted stories had reached a boiling point. with activists and journalists demanding transparency. Amanda, always composed, now appeared rattled as she barked orders to the PR team. Damage control isn't enough anymore, Amanda snapped during the morning meeting. We need to eliminate the problem at its root. Find out who's leaking this information. Lily kept her expression neutral, but her mind raced. She knew they were closing in. Time was running out. Later that evening, Amanda summoned Lily to her office. The room felt colder than usual, the dim lighting casting eerie shadows across Amanda's desk. "Lily, you've been doing exceptional work," Amanda began, her tone unusually soft. "But I need to ask, have you heard anything about these leaks?" Lily met her gaze, her voice calm. "I haven't, but I've been monitoring media coverage closely. Whoever's behind it seems to know a lot about our operations." Amanda studied her for a moment, her smile tight. "Good. Keep digging. We need to stay ahead of this." Leaving the office, Lily's nerves were on edge. Amanda's demeanor hinted at suspicion, and Lily knew she had to act fast. That night, she accessed a restricted server Amanda often used, thanks to a password she had discreetly observed. What Lily found sent chills down her spine. The files detailed orders to eliminate specific activists and journalists who had spoken out against Ivory Link. Among the names was her own. She copied the files onto a second USB drive and immediately called Kamau. "They're planning to come after me," she whispered, her voice shaky. "Stay calm," Kamau replied. "We'll protect you, but we need to make this public now." The next morning, Lily arrived at work as if nothing had changed. She carried on with her tasks, but her focus was on the USB drive hidden in her bag. By midday, she uploaded the incriminating files to an anonymous whistleblower platform, ensuring the evidence would spread globally. But her actions hadn't gone unnoticed. As she left the office, two men in dark suits approached her. "Miss Harper," one of them said, his voice cold, "we need to have a word." Before she could react, they escorted her into a black SUV. Her heart raced as the vehicle sped through the city, taking her farther from safety. She knew she was being taken to face the people she had been fighting to expose. Lily gripped the USB drive in her pocket, her resolve hardening. Whatever happened next, she was determined to finish what she started. Lily sat in a dimly lit room. Across from her stood Amanda, her composed facade shattered, her eyes filled with cold fury. "You've been busy, haven't you, Lily?" Amanda said, pacing slowly. "We trusted you. I trusted you, and you were working against us the entire time." Lily stayed silent, her mind racing. She knew the USB drive she had hidden in her jacket might be her only chance. If she could just hold out long enough, the files she'd uploaded would already be spreading across the internet. Amanda leaned in, her face inches from Lily's. "You've underestimated me. You think your little leaks will destroy us? We've dealt with worse, but you're disposable." The door opened and two men entered. "We've tracked the whistleblower platform. The files have gone public," one of them reported, his voice tense. Amanda's calm demeanor cracked further. "Shut it down, now," she barked. "It's too late," Lily said, her voice steady despite the fear tightening her chest. "The world knows what you've done. There's no coming back from this." Amanda glared at her, then turned to the men. "Leave us." Once they were alone, Amanda crouched to meet Lily's eye level. "You think you've won? Let me tell you something. The world may know, but without you alive to testify, the evidence is meaningless." Lily's breath caught. Amanda wasn't bluffing. She had to stall for time. "You're right," Lily said, feigning defeat. "But killing me won't erase what's already out there. It'll only prove your guilt." Amanda smirked. "It doesn't matter. By the time anyone connects the dots, I'll be gone." Just as Amanda reached for her phone, a loud crash echoed from outside the room. Shouts and heavy footsteps followed. Amanda's confident expression shifted to panic as she turned toward the noise. The door burst open and Kamau entered. "Freeze!" he shouted, his weapon trained on Amanda. Lily exhaled in relief as the officers stormed the room, securing Amanda and her guards. Kamau rushed to her side. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. "I'm fine," Lily managed, though her hands trembled. "The files, they've gone public." Kamau nodded. "The entire network is being exposed. We intercepted communications thanks to the files you uploaded." Ivory links. Days are over. Amanda was dragged away, screaming threats that echoed down the corridor. Lily stood, unsteady but resolute. She had risked everything, and it had paid off. Kamau placed a hand on her shoulder. "You did it, Lily. Your parents would be proud." Tears welled in her eyes, but they were tears of triumph. She had uncovered the truth, and justice was finally within reach. The courtroom buzzed with tension as the trial of Amanda and the Ivory Link cartel began. Cameras flashed, reporters jotted notes, and the public eagerly awaited the unfolding of one of the biggest cases of the decade. Lily sat in the front row, her heart pounding. Months of danger, deception, and relentless determination had led her to this moment. When Amanda entered the courtroom in handcuffs, her once confident demeanor was replaced by a hollow, defiant glare. Amanda's defense lawyer attempted to discredit Lily, suggesting she had acted recklessly and illegally. But Lily held her ground. "The real crime," she said, her voice unwavering, "is the destruction of lives, human and animal, for greed. My actions were a response to the failure of systems meant to protect us." By the trial's end, the weight of the evidence was undeniable. As the judge pronounced the sentences, a wave of relief washed over Lily. Justice had finally prevailed. Outside the courthouse, Kamau stood waiting. His face broke into a smile when he saw her. "It's over," he said. Lily nodded. "For them, yes, but for me, it's just the beginning. There's still so much to do. More stories to uncover, more injustices to fight." Kamau handed her a folder. "This might interest you. There are whispers of another operation linked to illegal logging." Lily chuckled softly. "You're relentless." "So are you," Kamau replied, his tone warm. That evening, Lily visited her parents' memorial. "We did it," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Your fight wasn't in vain." Her parents' legacy lived on, not just in the justice she had achieved, but in the fire it had ignited within her. Back at her office, Lily opened her laptop and began typing a new article. The headline read, "The Ivory Conspiracy: How Truth Toppled a Global Empire." It was more than a story. It was a testament to courage, resilience, and the power of seeking justice. Though the journey had been harrowing, Lily knew it was worth it. She had turned her pain into purpose and proven that even the most silent voices could echo across the world.